and you are maybe a legislator, you have to think twice if you plan to go to Tunisia, because there was an MP who was arrested and the Tunisian court sentenced him to 8 months in prison. And this is Honorable Ahmed Saidan. He was arrested, sentenced of making smoking posts to the president after recent deadly flooding that happened there in Tunisia. So some countries take the reputation and the image of their president seriously. So in Uganda, you have to think twice. And of course, also the finance ministry signaled reforms oversight in the 2026-2027 budget. Uganda raised its projected public spending by 12.7% to shillings 78.2 trillion, up from an earlier estimate which was shillings 69.4 trillion. We shall look into that here on Good Morning Uganda as we approach the budget process.
Right, thank you very much, Joan. Robert, good morning.
Good morning to you, Judy.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was fantastic.
Okay.
One, I played soccer.
We
had
soccer?
a match, that is Gaba Riders
wait.
Club.
Who played soccer?
Me, we had a match, Gaba Riders Club, where I'm the president, and Central Riders Club, where Stephen Kaye is the president, and the referee was from Uganda Bikers. However, my team was scored 9 goals. We scored 2.
And you're proud of that?
I managed to play for 10 minutes, and I called for substitute. I couldn't handle the pressure for substitution. But also my team, Arsenal, did great. We are still proving that the elephant is big.
Wait, Robert.
On the flip side of things,
9 goals.
Yes.
That was Central Club, Bikers Club of
Central
Kampala.
Riders Club
Of Kampala.
They hammered us.
9 goals.
We managed to score 2.
What number were you playing?
I played by 10 minutes.
Next time.
right, Robert, please go right ahead.
Now, also interesting is affairs in the church when it comes to elections. Now, Katwe Matters Church, they were electing leadership of the church.
Okay.
Guess what happened?
What?
Fights ensued between the leaders, and I remember the leader of development in that church, Dr. Canon Augustus Rurentake, a prominent businessman. When he wanted to stop, that is the voting, he was pushed by the Omuburis. He almost somersaulted to remove the buckets. Now, what is interesting, when a church is electing leaders, they accused the fellow church members of bringing in Bachuba, people who don't pray from that church,
intruders,
to come and vote in that election. Now they held the voting when army was deployed at the church and the police. You know what they call tight security. And after the voting, the Muburis continued challenging the results and saying this was illegal.
So what was the Muburis' point?
The Muburis felt things are not moving.
The way she was it a lady or?
She's a lady. And man, she's very. But apart from that, also some good news. We saw a robbery that is at Gwanda shopping mall, downtown Chisenyi. Police spokesperson said they have arrested 3 people and have been able to arrest, to impound or recover 3 motorcycles which were used in this robbery. But the American government coming up and issuing a security alert to its citizens. About
from that?
That Kampala is not secure, is not safe, alerting them to be very conscious of places they go to. I don't think we've reached that.
Was it from the embassy?
We have not.
Yes, but they came out and issued a security alert to their citizens. Don't just move anywhere. Kampala is not that very safe. Okay, they care for their people. When we see things like that, imagine in broad daylight someone removing a panga.
But that does not account for the entire population and the entire good happenings that are in the country, to issue such a statement.
Because some of us are nocturnals, but we move throughout the entire night and nothing happens to us. Some people, I know, they are bar hoppers. You know bar hoppers? From one to another. Then they will arrive at any time at their homes.
Safely.
Safe. During town, many of us.
I think altogether. Anyways, as the embassy, perhaps it was a part of its responsibility, but it's not yet that time, really. It's not yet that time.
With the many things,
and with the many things that keep on happening that are never on camera, and people are still...
Yeah, we've been cleared. Our streets, they are more safe now.
Yeah.
Joan's business, I hope, wasn't affected.
Anyway, in the interest of time,
I was affected. I need comfort. I need to be helped.
Right now, in the interest of time, I think regarding the church saga you've talked about, well, the law is never the problem, but the heart of man is always the problem. On that note, Robert, give us what we have on the law person this morning.
We'll begin with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has urged Christians to embrace government programs so as to participate in government efforts to eliminate poverty in the country. The appeal was contained in a message delivered by the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja on the occasion of the inauguration of St. John's Church in Entebbe municipality. Museveni emphasized the church dual role of evangelization alongside improving the livelihoods of the Christians. St. John's Church Entebbe municipality was a prayer place for many. The first church was constructed by Governor Sir Heathcliff Bell in 1908, and it is located near State House, Entebbe. 118 years later, Entebbe Christians mobilized and constructed a new church that has been inaugurated. The Prime Minister Robin Nabanja represented His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. In the sermon, the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, Moses Banja, who also led the service, appealed to Christians to avoid satanic behavior during Lent. The Bishop, that is Banja, also asked Canon Rocky Sendegeya to head St. John's Church, installed Canon Rocky Sendegeya to head the church. Banja appreciated President Museveni for the support to the church more in the construction of the new church. The Archbishop of the Diocese of Uganda, Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, urged Christians to avoid divisions based on race, politics, and religion, which are likely to destabilize their marriages. Kazimba also warned parents about the misuse of social media to the youth, which may affect their children's future. The Archbishop was at the 30th anniversary of marriage Thanksgiving for the Bishop of Mukono, Enos Kizito Kagodo, at the Diocese of Mukono, where he called marriage people to put love, respect, and trust to each other to avoid challenges in their homes. The Emeritus Bishop of Bunyoro Chitara Diocese, Right Reverend Samuel Kahunma, has appealed to politicians who lost in the recent elections to seek God's guidance as they search for alternative ways of survival. This was during a sermon at the Thanksgiving Mass for Right Reverend Canon Mugisha at St. Luke's Church of Uganda. Retired Bishop Kahuma asked Bunyoro Christians to thank God for the gift of life and seek His guidance during challenging times. The Bugaya East MP Eric Musana, who lost to NRM's Stephen Twesije, expressed concern over the loss of his 12 supporters due to election violence by his rival, and asked politicians to avoid rough campaigns for the elections. Well, that brings us to the end of our local stories. Seek God if you lost in the election for His guidance. Joan, what do we have on the international scene?
From the global coverage, we are beginning off in Mexico as the most wanted man and the leader of the feared Jalisco New Generation drug cartel has been killed during a security operation to arrest him. Now, this was said by the Defense Ministry. Nemesio Oseguera Caventes, known as El Mencho, died on Sunday as he was being taken to the capital, Mexico City. This was after being seriously injured in clashes between his supporters and the army. 4 CJNG members were killed in the town of Tapalpa, the central western Jalisco state. 3 army personnel were also injured. The U.S. had given Mexico information that assisted the operation. CJNG retaliated by setting cars alight, building roadblocks, and attacking security forces in 8 states. The U.S. State Department issued a shelter-in-place warning for U.S. citizens in the states of Jalisco, Tamaulipas, as well as some areas in Michoacan, Guerrero, and Nuevo Leon. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo later urged people to remain calm. In a post on X, she wrote that in most parts of the country, activities are proceeding normally. Moving on, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky continues to send out a firm message of defiance. When we met this weekend in the government headquarters in Kyiv, he said that far from losing, Ukraine would end the war victorious. He was firmly against paying the price for a ceasefire deal demanded by President Vladimir Putin, which is withdrawing from strategic ground that Russia has failed to capture, despite sacrificing tens of thousands of soldiers. Putin, Zelensky told me, has already started a World War III, and the only answer was intense military and economic pressure to force him to step back. I believe that Putin has already started it. The question is, how much territory will he be able to seize, and how to stop him? Russia wants to impose on the world a different way of life and change the lives people have chosen for themselves. What about Russia's demand for Ukraine to hand over the 20% of the eastern region of Donetsk that it still holds, a line of towns? Ukraine calls fortress cities as well as more land in the southern regions of Kherson and Zaporizhia. Isn't it that, I asked, a reasonable request if it produces a ceasefire? Coming back to the continent of Africa, that is the Rainbow Nation in South Africa, the Gauteng police have confirmed that the gun allegedly used in the attempted murder case against Chatunga Beramain Mugabe, son of the late Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, remains unaccounted for. Chatunga Mugabe allegedly shot a 23-year-old gardener on Thursday at a residence in the upmarket Hyde Park suburb north of Johannesburg, where Chatunga Mugabe resides. The man is currently in critical condition in hospital. Chatunga Mugabe is expected to appear in the Alexandra Magistrates Court in Johannesburg on Monday in connection with an attempted murder charge. The 28-year-old was arrested at his Hyde Park residence on Thursday. According to reports from IOL, the Mugabe family has opted to distance itself from various statements circulating in the media after the incident, emphasizing that these communications do not represent their views or position. In a statement released through their legal representatives, the family expressed concern about the information being shared, further fueling intrigue about the case. We note with concern various statements and communications circulating in media purporting to represent the views and position of the family. The statement read. And that brings us to the end of our international coverage.
All right, thank you very much, John. Looking at what we have in the dailies, we're starting off with the Daily Monitor, and the headline there is Uganda Airlines Global Routes Hit. That's the headline there. Museveni Lango leaders discuss post-polls deals, and government warns of heavy rainfall, flash floods, long road to Moema's 1.4 billion rent wars, and government commissions ferries linking Busoga, Teso, Lango, and trying to see what the lizard is saying on there. Hope I'm able to make it out. But in the meantime, let's look at what Kenya has with the Daily Nation, and the headline there is 11 billion Talanta Stadium scandal. That's the Daily Nation there for you. Also, Matiangis tours Gusii amid Mount Kenya Jitlas, and South African golfer holds nerve to win 60 million shillings Magical Kenya Open top prize. Now, quick look at the Citizen. Finance sector stays strong amid mounting global risks. Also, focus shifts to upgrade path after Moody's affirmed Tanzanian rating, and UDOM's model aligns degrees with labor market needs, and lab crisis hits 40% of secondary schools, threatening science drive. quick look at what we have in the Gazette. That is as of last Friday, the 20th of February. The Gazette, hope it's able to be displayed as quickly as possible, but to read some of the notices to pay heed to. Be it known that on the 13th day of 13th day of September 2024, Sabwe Johnson, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the former Chief Justice Alfonso Chikamoy Owenyidolo as of the 13th day of September 2024, Chief Justice at that time. Also be it known that on the 12th day of December 2025, Mwanguzi George, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the Chief Justice. Then on the 12th day of December 2025, Alfonso Chigamoy Owenyidolo. Also a place of celebration of marriage, that is a church known as Seventh-day Adventist Church, Chisinga Central, denomination is SDA. Village is Chisinga TC, parish Nsenyi, and sub-county Chisinga TC, county Nsenyi, and the district is Kasese, given under the hand of the Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, on the 24th day of December 2025. Another place to celebrate marriage as recognized by the Gazette, Church Seventh-day Adventist Church, Bwatsinge, denomination SDA, and the village is Bwatsinge, parish is Chitolu. There and there, those are the notices that you can pay heed to as released on the 20th day of February 2026. It's Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV, proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, giving us an opportunity to enjoy Uganda coffee and also imploring you to buy Uganda, build Uganda, buy that Uganda coffee. For now, let's have a short break, and when we get back, we'll be definitely delving into another conversation. 0709-602-592. By WhatsApp text, be part of the conversation and the whole show. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning. Welcome back from the weekend. I hope you received the weekly servicing, spiritual servicing that you need to run the miles you need on the road for the whole week. Welcome to the show. It is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. Now, Health Ministry on alert as 60 countries recall baby milk formula. All the affected brands, including Nestle's SMA range, Aptamil and Cow and Gate, are widely sold in Uganda through supermarkets, pharmacies and private traders, as well as being given out in public centers, and were found to be contaminated with cerulide toxin, a heat-stable toxin produced by Bacillus cereus. Definitely we'll be getting into the details as the story develops, but for the rest of the world, in fact, Nestle itself recalled some of the formulas that it had already released into the public. But still, well, of course, on the Ugandan market, they are still there. And the government is calling, the Ministry of Health is calling that they should be recalled to save the lives of the babies that consume these formulas. Welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo and Joan Murunji. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning, Julie, and a very good morning to you, our viewers. Happy Monday. We are still in the Lenten season and, of course, Ramadan season. But if you're struggling to wake up at this early morning, you are in the right place, because we do have big stories to help you, enable you get through the week and to keep your week moving. Though this Monday is a cold one in the Kampala metropolitan area, it's really cold and it's soggy and muddy in areas of downtown. I managed to pass through there to check on the status of vendors. If early morning the merchandise is still on the road, but I think CCA is doing a good job. I've not noticed most of the roads and the streets are a bit clear. But away from that, whoever is using social media and you are maybe a legislator, you have to think twice if you plan to go to Tunisia, because there was an MP who was arrested and the Tunisian court sentenced him to 8 months in prison. And this is Honorable Ahmed Saidan, who was arrested, sentenced of making smoking posts to the president after recent deadly flooding that happened there in Tunisia. So some countries take the reputation and the image of their president seriously. So in Uganda, you have to think twice. And of course, also the finance ministry signaled reforms oversight in the 2026-2027 budget. Uganda raised its projected public spending by 12.7% to shilling 78.2 trillion, up from an earlier estimate which was shillings 69.4 trillion. We shall look into that here on Good Morning Uganda as we approach the budget process.
Right, thank you very much, Joan. Robert, good morning.
Good morning to you, Julie.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was fantastic.
Okay.
One, I played soccer.
Who
We
played
had
soccer?
a match, that is Gaba Riders
Wait.
Club.
Who played soccer?
Me, we had a match, Gaba Riders Club, where I'm the president,
Okay.
and Central Riders Club, where Stephen Kaye is the president, and the referee was from Uganda Bikers. However, my team was scored 9 goals. We scored 2.
And you're
I
proud of
managed
that.
to play for 10.
A 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they are supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo Clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. If you started the show with us, thank you. And if you're just joining in this chilly morning and rainy at that, we still celebrate you and thank you for choosing UBC TV this morning, inspiring Uganda. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. At this point, we have a conversation that affects definitely all of us for as long as you have children or you hope to have children at the end of the day, but also school administrators and schools all together. Let's look at the high costs of school requirements. Yes, looking at the economic angle, the policy and governance angle, looking at household income versus the school requirement, how that plays out. We're chewing on this together, so be part of the conversation. 0709-602592 by text, WhatsApp. Share your experience, your opinion, your complaint, your pain, or your reasoning and rationale as to why things are the way they are. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono and Joan Murunji. And on that point, let me start straight with Joan. In your perspective, why do you think this is happening? But I think even before I go to the why, what are these school requirements?
You know, way back, we used to think going back to school, the requirements needed were exercise books, replacing worn out shoes, worn out uniforms, pencils, pens, scholastic materials mainly. But as we speak, it is more than that. One would argue the world has changed. It is no, the era has changed. It is no longer the other days of 1992, 1994. It is now 2000. The taxes are high and operational costs are high. But apparently we are speaking of school requirements. Besides the class requirements, we are talking about bringing cement, We are talking about sending a P1 child for a wheelbarrow. I don't know if a P1 child can really make proper use of a wheelbarrow. We are talking about 3 reams of rim paper, that is 500 sheets per rim of paper. And it beats my understanding if a P2 child or even senior 6 can use the entire 3 reams of rim paper for just about 3.5 months that make up an education term. We are looking at functional fees. We are looking at school trips. I know of a school whereby they have an admission fee of over 200,000. And then school uniforms at 850,000. And this is not just hearsay, but I know the school. They cannot mention it here. 850,000 for school uniforms, and then development fee 150,000. Study trips, that is 350,000. You might find that they've told these children they are going to go to UBC to see the national television and radios, and then they will pass by Kasubi Tombs and go maybe to Kasenyi. I don't know if there is still enough to see in Kasenyi landing site. And then they will go to Namamve Industrial Park and also the zoo. But remember, these things don't happen in just one term. Yeah. So they might say this time we are going to UBC, and then maybe the zoo, and then the next time. So they keep on paying this 350,000. Then the same school has contributions to the school administration, Parents Teachers Association Board at 50,000. As if that is not enough, this school also asks students or parents to pay for subscription for DSTV, that is 50,000 every term per student. Imagine per student. I don't know what package.
Rather interesting requirements that some are necessary, some may be. Anyway, I think the times are different. And in just a bit after you tell us the why, I'd love to hear from Robert's experience as a parent, because he's in it more than we are. So why do you think these costs are high? In your and this is forwarded to you, John. It's the first thing I asked. Why do you think, in your perspective, that these costs are being heightened?
Like I mentioned first, it could be operational costs. Some of these schools have a lot of hidden costs or bills, water, they have electricity, feeding, so they try to hide these costs into the school requirements and the school fees. Because this particular school, actually, for the boarding section, they pay 2.4 million Ugandan shillings. So when the school has high operational costs, of course, we are going to see some of these requirements that would have been even less costly heightened in terms of price. And also, what is the motive of the school? Some of these schools, especially private schools, are into the business just for profit, not really educating the child, though it is intertwined, but most of them are into profit maximization. So they try to get wherever way they can to make sure they quench even the little money the parents do have in order to have their commercialization profits, the profits and also the deadlines plus the targets are met. That is when you find that in some schools, some of these things are optional, like it could be ballet dancing, but Robert, like we had a conversation, you said it would really not be necessary for my child not to go for ballet dancing. Well, they even come back home and they'll be like, Mom, my friend goes for ballet dancing, but for me I cannot. Even when I am not able to pay it, it will compel me as a parent to make sure I pay for this. And also, you know, the mandated branded items bring up these requirements to be high, because why would you tell me I have to brand my child's uniform at the school or at a certain place? If you're buying stockings, you have to go to a certain shop. We have our supplier that gives us these stockings, in a way of trying to dictate where to purchase from these items. These school requirements remain high because, you know, stockings, I'm told a pair can go for as low as 15,000 or 20,000, but in a school you find on the requirements sheet a pair of stockings is 50,000, and the child needs over 2 pairs of stockings. Just labeling a uniform, I think it is called DTF, DTF with labeling. It goes for, if the uniforms are many, it can go as low as 1,000 if it is a bulk order. But at most, it can be like 3,000. But you find a school charging a uniform to be branded at 50,000. Something you can get at any price. But
by the look of things, from what I hear Joan submit, it's like twagala sente from schools by hook or crook. But Robert, you're a parent and you have the best experience when it comes to the three of us here. You have the inner experience on it. What are you asked for? What do you take? And what things don't make sense to you?
Well, first I want to ask school head teachers, where do you put these things? I want to begin with that. Because I just don't understand. If you people have schools and stationery shops, now I have children in two different schools, both are private schools. One of the school is along Entebbe Road, just on the main road. There, if you're taking there your children, where my daughter is, sneakers, we buy them at school.
Or are they uniform sneakers? Like
yes,
every child has the same sneakers?
I think they have someone who manufactures them, but they're imported. The sneakers, we buy them from that school.
That would be okay.
The shoes, you buy them from school.
Is it mandatory though?
It is mandatory.
What I mean, as in the school putting that up.
It could be okay, but at a minimal cost.
I don't know why they chose them. Even the school bag.
Okay.
It's bought at the school. They have a specific school bag. Now, first, those are two things that shook me.
Yeah, for uniformity, I agree with the school.
Now,
before the price.
Second is the dancing and swimming lessons.
Okay.
Now, when they say they are optional, let's be very honest, parents. It's very hard for your child to come back home and say, while the rest went for swimming, for us, we returned home. While the rest went for this, for us, we returned. So, they will charge swimming and find that maybe in a term, children are taken twice. And there is no learning in that swimming. Because what they do, they go to a place where there's a swimming pool.
And have fun.
They just bring the children, they just play in water. One time I asked the instructor of one of those places, and he said, if I'm not paid money, I mean, why would I bother training children swimming? So swimming lessons, parents, I want to tell you, they're just cheating you. If you can and you want your child to learn swimming, this is what I did. Go to a place that has a swimming pool, get a coach at that swimming pool, pay for your child, take that child there. Then tell him or tell her, you will not go for swimming there, but you're going to learn swimming. Because our whole time is down the road, you've learned nothing. The other is interview fee. I'm bringing a child, and I know you're not going to neglect this child or deny them, but you subject them to an interview. And you charge me 50,000 for an interview. 2 sheets of paper. We go to admission, like Joan said. Have you given me a vacancy in your place? In your school, why charge me 200, 250 for a letter written on your child has been admitted?
Wait, Robert, there is interview fee, there is application fee, and then admission.
Admission. Now, the development, you've talked about it. I mean, am I the one to develop your school? You started your business and you asked me for development fee. Go to library. You know, I'm paying for library. Then
the library within the school.
Within the school. Now, you move to medical. They have specific clinics where medical is supposed to be done. And there they will charge you exorbitantly because they will tell you that's where we believe that medical has been done. PTA, Parents Teachers Association. Why are we paying so much for these people who may even sit once a term? And what is their role anyway? However, because these people paid some money, even when parents would like to express our views, one of the PTA members will come and stand straight and say, but for the good of our children, then you look like, oh, I'm the poor among these people. You get it? So you feel shy, and at the end of the day, you stand down, and the school passes these nonsensical bills.
Exactly.
And they will quote, the Parents Teachers Association accepted.
So even without the parents agreeing to these resolutions.
Now, this is what they do, because government put a clause that if you're to increase school fees, we have these, the Parents and Teachers Association must accept. So because there is so much money that is paid to your colleagues, you vote. That is why now becoming a member of the PTA in a school.
Wait, Robert.
It's a serious campaign.
They do campaign?
Yes, it's serious campaign.
And there are benefits of being on the PTA?
Oh. Because if you have 2,000 children, and each child is paying 100,000 for PTA. PTA, there are not more than 10 people.
Okay.
Per term, just divide 100,000 between 7 people. How much is each earning a term? You have 2,000 students.
Right. On that note, Robert, and I love the fact that we have you who has experience of this, but a parent out there, even if you're running a school, if you're a teacher, share your side of the story. It would be lovely to hear what the flip side of the coin is. But I love the fact that you also mentioned government in there. What do you think can be done? Of course, generally, but also by the government. What regulations do you think need to be put in place? Because I mean, if you ask me school sneakers, swimming I might understand, maybe not, of which I'm closing one eye. But school sneakers,
For sports.
I can buy my own sneakers at a fairer price, you know. I find it as a very unnecessary cost. School bag, I find it as a very unnecessary cost that we have to match. I can have my own.
Branded.
You know, I can go brand it for you.
And
you know,
that is what most parents are resorting to.
Yeah,
they buy material
as opposed to you choosing and getting into my pockets for the money you don't work for.
Deny that. I remember one time I wanted a sportswear.
Okay.
And we sat with Madame and she told me, why are we buying one pair of socks for sports? That short, usually it is a cotton material with a stripe, 2 stripes. Then a t-shirt. She said, no, I know someone who can do this. Let's get the old one because a child grows. I take to these people, they give me the same quality. Truth, it was the same quality and you could not differentiate, but they sensed it was new and wasn't bought within the school.
Because you did not register the child.
It wasn't bought. So he comes, yes. You could not differentiate at all. Everything was the same. But they knew it wasn't bought in the school. So I received a letter.
A letter?
Yes.
Disciplinary committee. As a first-time parent, you're receiving a warning letter.
Now let me go to what government should do.
But before that, Roberta, you know, I was having a talk with some parents, and they claimed some of these schools import the material from abroad.
I mean, it's none of my business.
You know, and they take the material.
Whatever they import is here.
They take to Chiembe.
Will my child get the content in class because of imported material? That's a lot of nonsense.
I copied perfectly, but I received a letter telling me on the letter I signed to get my child into that school.
Yes, sir.
All uniform is provided by the school. Therefore, that was not part of their school uniform.
Wow. Let's look at regulations. What can government do?
Now, first and foremost, I must say that Ministry of Education has done something.
Right.
But when it comes to regulation, there is so much, and I can give all examples that we have challenges. I don't know, some people have said conflict of interest. There are allegations that most of the people in the ministry, and you don't blame them, because these are teachers. They have gone, what the business they understand best is schools. So they told me that when you want to foster regulation in Ministry of Education, most of them own schools. And these are facts, people know there are schools. So it is very hard for us, we say in Uganda, you know, it is very hard for us to push for policies and push for their effective implementation that are against our own.
Okay.
Conflict of interest is so much there that even when we have these regulations, they can't work out. 2, commercialization of education. Today I want to tell you education is a business. Let me just be very fast. How education came in Uganda. Now we had the church missionaries and the missionaries. When they came to Uganda, they felt, let's educate Ugandans. One, they wanted people, our colonial masters, who could help them govern. People who could understand their language, read. No wonder first our curriculum was more theoretical. Now, for them, it was people would help them. Then also the Muslims came in. That's why you see traditional schools.
Yeah.
Now from there, I had what we call community schools. Julie, I, and Joanne come from a specific area. We are educated, and we say, let's start a school in our community. The aim was not money, but to educate children of our community, because we have appreciated the value of education.
Right.
They were community schools. Now, hell broke loose when you went where you find a fisherman owning a school. Now it is business. You get a school, you start a school, you get a loan, in the next day you're like that Dr. Lawrence Mulindwas of this world. Dr. Christo Muyingo. You know, a school gives status and money very fast. When you went in commercialization of education, people are not thinking of educating. They are thinking of making money and making profits. That is what they are thinking of. Making money and profit. Maximization of profits. That when you tell me that government does not allow to just increase school fees, you know what they do? It's okay, now we won't touch the school fees. A school will tell you our school fees is 700. But when you look at the total cost, you're in 2 million. You've forgotten the vans. There's a lot of theft in vans. How do you tell me that a distance from our studios to the gate, the starting price is 250? Then they continue. Sometimes the van is more expensive even the school fees.
Yes, true.
Where my children go to, if the school fees is 700, each child in the van, a very short distance, is 450. Now I ask the school administration, how come school fees I pay 700? Then the van for these two, I'm going to pay another school fees. They told me, you see, and worst in the vans, they pack our children as if animals going to cow. You saw they pack cows. Then you're charging me a lot of this money. You bring the children almost suffocated. And please, traffic officers, help us. Impound these vans.
Right.
Stop the school shutters. Look at how they are parking our children. Impound and don't release that car.
With the children inside.
You know, shall pick our children.
Of course, the parents will pick their children from the. But on that note, John. Anyway, Robert hit on this a little, and I think he's the right person to speak into this. But let me. That is why do you think parents are come to these pressures?
You have no alternative. I'll be very fast. They have no alternatives.
Robert, it's because your parents believe in quality. Expensive is quality. And even peer pressure. Parents believe because Julie's child is at a certain score, they are paying over with the requirements 3.5 for a nursery child. A nursery child paying, imagine, school fees of 2.8 million. So you believe because of the peer pressure, I went to the same school with Julie, or we are working in the same company, I must go by that pressure to also have my child studying in that same area. And when it comes to, I'm told the men are having a problem with the women, their wives, because this family is kind of well off than ours. More well off than ours. So I compel my husband to forcefully take the child to that school, even when I know my husband may not have the proper means of having to train that child in that school. So peer pressure also. And the belief, the myth that quality education is expensive also sets parents to succumb to these exaggerated prices. And also, you know, when there is no control, lack of enough control by the government, because I think as the community we are supposed to be the whistleblowers for these things. Once you get to know that the school, because right now I doubt the Ministry of Education is really empowered to, even when the policies are there. For the private schools, it's a bit challenging to regulate them. For maybe the government institutions, the ministry has tried, though they also do get some scenarios whereby parents are asked to pay, but which is okay, because if I'm having a child in a UPE school or USE school, I expect them to have uniform. So I'm supposed to pay for the meal, I'm supposed to pay for the uniforms, and also this, of course, these hidden costs are transferred to the parents, down to the businesses. I'm told of a certain gentleman who was a head teacher, but because of the high fees of requirements, in about 2 years, he left being a head teacher for a certain school and became a proprietor of their own school, because he had gotten enough. And another thing as to why parents succumb to this, I talked about the social status and peer pressure. But let's also talk about, Robert and Julie, the high interest rates on loans for the proprietors. Once the loans come to start a school come in at a high interest rate, definitely we are going to suffer the
start your school basing on loans? I mean, am I?
Now let me read some of the comments coming through.
Parent.
Some of the comments that we do have are, well, Hi, we are tired of teachers who do not want to teach. That's a comment.
Where is that? Where is that?
I wonder what the foundation is of this. But good morning, guys. We'll be back from the weekend. You're so smart. Thank you for appreciating. You go ahead to say some schools are money makers. This is Kawangozi Paul Muguluka in Ginger. And good morning, UBC. Interestingly, a teacher once told me that some of those many stationaries, they sell them. So these proprietors may likely have a stationery shop where the ream of paper, the broom, the toilet paper that you give to your child as a school requirement is sold.
And if the broom is branded,
another.
it should be from a specific store. The broom and the brush and floor polish to make sure.
Robert, do you think there's a solution? Do you think there's a looming solution, or we're still struggling?
We are still struggling. Why am I saying so? You go to a community and there are very many schools. Then you think factors of demand and supply. That where the schools are so many, because every day there is a school that is opening in Uganda, if you've noticed. You see a school, but then you assume that because there are many schools, demand is going to go low. Now, these schools, for them, they are working in uniformity. They may look even enemies, but they consult. And they set standards. That's why if you go to an area where school fees is about 700, in some of those average schools, you find that every school you go to, they will range from that school fees 700. Almost all of them fit Entebbe Road. Their schools.
Then requirements.
Then requirements are also mostly similar. So when you're looking for a choice, you see they are within the same range. Now there they have mastered the art. And the parents will have no connectivity because nothing brings us together. I told you when results are out where I went to a certain school and the parents were up saying, with all these fees we are charging us and requirements, how do you tell us our children failed? Now, why I said we are still struggling, when you go back to the mother ministry that is supposed to enforce and check, one, they are limited in terms of human resource. Look at school inspectors, a district like Wachiso. How many school inspectors do they have and how many schools are they there? But also above is what I said earlier, conflict of interest. When you look at a number of people in the Ministry of Education, let's say district education officers, some of the commissioners, I know many who retired, but I have a friend we talk of those who retired. He was Dr. Mukasa Rusambu. If you'd mention that category of their times, all of them owned schools.
I remember recently, was it in the recent times, that the government, I think, had an announcement or something about those working within the ministry owning schools.
And they own or they co-own.
And surely the government was shaking its own.
You have shares, as long as you have shares in the
how
the government was shaking its own.
If you're going to bring a law regarding presenters of Good Morning Uganda, and it is us to enforce
the law, and we are the presenters.
Yeah.
What would it look like?
It doesn't make sense at all.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense. Let's close this conversation with more comments that are coming through. Hi, JJR. Interesting.
Oh, that's nice. JJR. Who is that?
If it were a group for a stage name and we were artists, perhaps would make sense.
JJR. Do you know what the R stands for?
Of course, he gets it.
He doesn't know.
Are you that slow?
I belong to a certain time different from you.
Come on, that's Julie, John, and Robert. Wake up, it's Monday.
So you guys, you're JJ.
Yeah, and you are. That's what he said. Yes, and you're Robert.
Come on, Robert.
I know you as Nantaba. I know you as Karunji. I know myself as Nyonyi.
And your other name?
Anyways, thank you for the show. This is teacher Igalagwa Edward from Buyende District. I think the rise is common to performing schools having large number of pupils who don't even care of the costs incurred on the parents. Interesting perspective. And yes, good morning. You have brought a good point. I'm Wilson in Chegwega. That's how the comment is read. But we'll bring this to a conversation.
And touching parents. Senior 5 coming to senior 6.
Yes.
Senior 4 going to senior 5. People.
Senior 5, senior 1.
It's very dire. Yeah, it's very dire. I think this conversation was not just for the sake of having a conversation, but ultimately, especially to the policy makers, Ministry of Education, those who set the policies. This is now at your table. It's for you to chew on and to make as serious as possible, because the very same people you're taxing as citizens of Ugandans are the very same people who are dying with costs that are rather unnecessary, and yet Ugandan children need to be taken to school as a right they have as citizens of Ugandans. So we pose it to you. Let's close this with the birthday wishes that come from Vere Paul, who wishes his wife called Julie a happy birthday. Wishes from Vere Paul.
Happy birthday.
Happy
What's
birthday,
the name of the wife?
Muchala Vere Paul. He did not leave the name. She's called Julie.
Oh,
she's called Julie, yes.
Very beautiful.
Very Paul. Isn't that a gospel artist?
Yes, it is. Vere Paul is a gospel artist.
Oh,
Yes.
she's a gospel artist.
The husband is the
husband is a
gospel artist, yeah. Very Paul. He has a nice song called, I'm forgetting, but he has some nice
All
songs.
right, happy birthday to Muchala Vere Paul. We definitely wish you a happy birthday and a good year and more years that are filled
Please
with
invite
purpose.
us for the celebration.
For the birthday.
It doesn't concern you.
Ew, why not?
Up next is Genuine Tourism
Oh my God, Julie.
Express.
Look like you're
Tourism
being right
Express,
back.
we also have business. John will be coming back with the from the
Absolutely,
business
absolutely.
desk, and the agenda will also be happening as well. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned or what we have stopped is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvesters in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geographer we taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Explore Uganda.
What an amazing place to be this morning. To you that has been walking this journey with us, thank you. It's been a week dedicated to our Muslim brothers and sisters. The first episode was just about the history of Gaddafi Mosque and going through Ramadan, the Ramadan period itself. And when we got to the second episode, it was talking about the cultures and tradition and the history, diving more into it, especially relating to tourism about this particular mosque. And today, being our climax, we are also shooting at the rooftop of Gaddafi Mosque, which has the most beautiful views. And here you get to see the 7 hills of Kampala. I don't want to spoil for you, but stick with us to get to know more about these hills and what is there for you to see on top of Gaddafi Mosque. My name is Zakia Laki. Welcome to the GMU Tourism Express. We are at a strategic location where you get to see the 7 hills of Kampala, and with me is again Muhammad, who has been exhausting religious tourism with us, especially in the Islam tradition. He's going to be introducing himself to you and telling us more about these hills.
Yeah, so viewers, once again you are most welcome. Right here we are at the top of our mosque, from where we can have a more defined view of Kampala, more especially the 7 traditional hills which make the city of Kampala, or where Kampala originally began. So these sites, one of them is right here where we are, or the Kampala Hill. It's in the center of the city, and this is where the colonial activities began. So Kampala of today began from here and spread to different directions. And from here you can also be able to see the other 6 hills of Kampala. From this hill, we have another hill called Mengo. Mengo is in the south of Kampala, from where we are standing. And Mengo is where you find the palace for the king of Uganda. So that hill is one of the 7 traditional hills where Kampala began due to the presence of the Buganda Administration Center. Okay. Then another hill is called Lubaga. Lubaga is also in the south of Kampala, where you can see the twin towers.
Yes.
Those twin towers is the church, which was built in the early 20th century by the missionaries who came here to preach Christianity. So when those people came here, they were accommodated to that hill by the king of Uganda, and they began to preach within the boundaries of Uganda. Then they didn't come alone, they came with another group of Anglicans who were also settled on another hill called Namirembe. So that brown dome is the top of a church, yes, which was started around 1919 by the missionaries who came to preach Christianity, and they also began from Uganda. So after the unification, all those activities began to spread beyond the boundaries of Uganda. So the presence of the 2 churches on top of a hill make those sites to be among the 7 traditional hills of Kampala. Now, still in the south of Kampala, we have another hill called Kibuli. Kibuli is one of the 7 traditional hills. Why? When the Arabs came here, while here, they managed to attract some locals because of their tradition of praying. And some people were convinced and voluntarily chose to become Muslims. So among those pioneers were some members of the Buganda royal family. So after converting to Islam, these people, some of them were not as interested in the traditional religion practiced here by the locals. So after converting to Islam, they chose to relocate from the Buganda Palace and went and established their mosque on top of that hill. So that's where today you find one of the old mosques in Kampala. Yeah. Then another hill is called Nakasero. That area where you see the towering buildings. That area became more administrative after the colonial activities were relocated from here and established their offices on that site. So that's where today you find the Parliament of Uganda, the ministries and embassies, five-star hotels, post office, the High Court of Uganda, all located to that part of Kampala, including the Presidential Lodge. Yeah, like today, you can see the white building.
Yes.
That is a hotel, and it's a recent five-star in Kampala. It's called the Pearl of Africa, reflecting the nickname for Uganda. Then we have the towering building with glasses. It's called the Pension House. It's also meant to generate more income to our National Social Security Fund. Then we have Sheraton in Kampala, the Off-White building.
Okay.
That is the first five-star in Uganda. Yeah. Then also have another hill, and that hill is just behind the domes. And that hill is called Makerere. That's where you find the first public university of East Africa, which is over 100 years. Yeah. So, in brief, that is Kampala, according to the 7 traditional hills. To remind you about those hills, we have hill number 1, that is Old Kampala. Hill number 2 is Mengo, where you find the palace. Hill number 3 is Rubaga, where you find the Catholic Church. Hill number 4 is Namirembe for the Anglican Church. Hill number 5 is Makerere for the university. Hill number 6 is Nakasero for the administration area. Then hill number 7 is Kibuli, where you find one of the old mosques in Kampala.
How was the, okay.
It was good.
Hey, okay.
So, as we wind up our activity here, I would like, first of all, to thank all those Ugandans who have sacrificed their time and money to come and visit our mosque, the National Mosque. When you come here, you have a lot to learn, as we have already presented to you some of this content here. And we are still pushing forward, analyzing and making more research about different sites and their significance as far as Kampala is concerned. So I can assure you, by the next time you come here, we shall have a lot more to see and also a lot more to learn from here. Thank you very much.
Is there something
you wanted to say now that Yeah, so I was appealing to Ugandans to come. Well, it is about to visiting the mosque and make your contribution here so that we can also be able to maintain this building here and also attract more visitors from outside to come and visit as many sites as they can afford. That would also enhance our income and make our economy grow. Yeah.
Yes, so besides the 7 hills, and calling up visitors, what could you want your closing remarks to be, or any other thing that you've probably forgotten that Ugandans or tourists should know about this mosque?
What most people should know about this mosque is that this is the first tourist attraction in Kampala. You know, our city here is very congested as of now. And some of these people normally refuse to walk around because of the congestion and the hassle they have to go through. But once these people come to this site, where we have this minaret, everybody can be able to have a 360 degrees view of the city Kampala. And to the students and the learners, when you come here, there is a lot to learn about the history of Uganda. So, those are some of my remarks about this mosque, and I would be very grateful to see more Ugandans coming here, because this property belongs to Ugandans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to you that has lived in Kampala over the years and has not taken a step to visit this mosque now, make it a point. We just give you a review about it, but make sure you visit it and also get to see with your eyes. It has been religious tourism, interesting as it is. We are going to still take you to other parts of it so that you can learn so much more. And throughout this episode, to remind you, I have been dressed by Tessie Hijabs. If you want to know about their locations, find it on our social media platforms. Now, stick with us every Monday to Thursday at 7 a.m. There's so much more that we discuss regarding tourism. Make it a point to be with us, and thank you for being with us. Have a beautiful day.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Welcome back to Good Morning Uganda. If you're just joining us, good morning. It is Monday. We broadcast live to you from Nile Avenue. That is where the UBC headquarters are located. My name is Joanne N. Murungi. It is now time for our economic press. But first of all, you need to know what the President of the United States of America, that is Donald Trump, he has set a certain percentage to which he will impose a global tariff. So you need to stick around so that you have an insight of this. But away from that, it is a fresh week and the weekend is over. The markets are open. It's time to set the pace for a winning week. Do not forget, Tourism Express is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board. And for us as Good Morning Uganda Business, we are proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Agriculture and more industry and fisheries. Of course, to commence with is the development loans that have been issued out to the people of Luwero in Wobulenzi. And the manager of Centenary Bank Wobulenzi branch, James Robert Seremba, has urged school administrators to liaise closely with bank managers to design loan products aimed at improving the financial welfare of teachers and non-teaching staff. Seremba made the remarks while officiating as chief guest at a Thanksgiving ceremony held at the main hall of Katikamo SDA Secondary School in Wobulenzi Town, that is Luwero District. Now, the event was organized to celebrate the school's impressive performance in 2025 Uganda National Examinations Board and Uganda Certificate of Education examinations. He further emphasized tailored financial solutions for educators, noting that well-structured loan products enhance their staff motivation, stability, and overall productivity in schools. Let's have a look.
Actually, for those that are yet to sit the new curriculum exams, yeah, they aren't that easy, they aren't difficult. It's all about focusing and setting a goal for yourself that you want to achieve. If you set a goal for yourself, then you'll be able to achieve it. Though achieving it also needs hard work, determination, and confidence.
First of all, Katikamu SDA Secondary School and Centenary Park are religiously founded institutions. So with that kind of background, we feel that when we give when we get a memorandum of understanding with the Katikamu SDA Secondary School, it will benefit the teaching staff, the teaching and non-teaching staff, in that it will help them develop themselves personally on an individual basis.
And stakeholders, we feel happy. When things change, you change. Now I want to thank God that Katikamu SDA changed to all the features and requirements of lower secondary curriculum, that they managed to perform excellently. And I wish this continues not only to Katikamu SDA, but at all schools. That is the way to go. Lower secondary curriculum is more practical. Lower secondary curriculum tracks learners' performance throughout. It grades learners in all different capacities because of learners.
We want to thank God not only for this academics, but as Katikamu, our team looks at a whole child, character development of a child, life orientation of a child in the school, where we emphasize most on character building, honesty, integrity, hard work, godliness. Mention them, that when we send these people out, we send a complete person. Those who will not cause trouble to the community, to the society, and to our nation.
Indeed, financial inclusion going on there. Forging forward, U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will impose global tariffs of 15% as he has continued to rail against a Supreme Court ruling that struck down his previous import taxes. Trump said on Friday that he would replace the tariffs scrapped by the court with a 10% levy on all goods coming into the U.S. But on Saturday, he announced on Truth Social that this would be increased to the maximum allowed under a never-used trade law. That law allows these new tariffs to stay in place for around 5 months before the administration must seek congressional approval. The 10% tariffs were set to come into force on Tuesday, 24th February. But it's unclear if the increased 15% would also be imposed starting then. Now, the BBC has contacted the White House, and the new 15% tax rate, a temporary solution under Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act, raises questions for countries such as the UK and Australia, which had agreed a 10% tariff deal with the US. Trump said his administration had reached the decision to raise the levy following a review of the Supreme Court's ridiculous and poorly written and extraordinarily un-American decision on tariffs issued yesterday. In a 6-3 decision, justices on the highest U.S. court found that the president had overstepped his powers when he introduced sweeping global tariffs last year using a 1977 law known as the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Now, that is what is happening in the international scene in regards to business. But do not forget to check out the Bank of Uganda financial news reports concerning the T-bills, discount rates, and also the IBOR. So make sure you check it out so that you invest wisely. Let's now look at your money and how it is doing against the other various currencies as of 20th February 2026 by Bank of Uganda. Starting off with the US dollar that bought at 3,579.77 and sold at 3,589.77. By midday, The dollar bought at 3,590.68 and sold at 3,600.68. By close of business on the 20th, the dollar buying rate was 3,596.14 and sold at 3,606.14. Whereas the Great British Pound is bought off at 4,847.95, it sold at 4,862.51. The euro there bought at 4,232.29 and sold at 4,244.78. From the neighbors, the Kenyan shilling there bought at 27.85 and sold at 27.97. Whereas the Tanzanian shilling bought at 1.37 and sold at 1.40. And the South African rand bought at 223.23 and sold at 224.13. And of course, we shall bring you deeper insights of the business here in Uganda and all over the world on Good Morning Uganda. Do not forget that we are proudly sponsored by Ministry of Agriculture and More Industry and Fisheries. Coming up is the agenda. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
In all these years, we emphasize two words: wealth and jobs. And we try to waken our people up to show them where wealth and jobs come from.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, is a bold initiative that is reshaping Uganda's rural economy. By allocating 100 million shillings to each parish annually, PDM empowers households by unlocking opportunities for wealth creation.
This program will be maintained. Each year we send 100 million for the parish. If you get the 1 million, you can buy some goats, you can buy some pigs, you can buy even young cows.
Farmers are transitioning from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture, laying the groundwork for wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency. And that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti. And he was talking about how to improve household income.
With the PDM, you bring back